Did we get everything? How you doing? Today, we are doing a Camry. We have 35. We're doing 35 in the front. We're doing 5 on the back. We have to remember to do a brake light cutout. So we might actually do the back window first. I'm also going to check the software to see if they have a brake light cutout for us. So that'll make it that much, honestly, better. Let me change a setting here. Apply. Something like that. Should be good. Looks like everything's working. Sweet. I know I'm definitely forgetting stuff. What am I forgetting? That one. That's what I'm forgetting. But I think everything's good. Yep. All good. Loud and clear, blaring right into my ear. Sweet. Everything good? How you guys doing? We're probably just gonna start jumping into things because this appointment's already running a little bit late. It's funny. People get here early, usually 20 minutes early. This one was an hour late today. I'm not complaining. It's ceramic. It's just kind of funny how it works. When I prepare for it, it shows up late. $7 a.m. here. Good morning. Long time no chat. Yeah, right? Doing good. People need to start saying something. Maybe 12 o'clock is a weird time. Everybody's ready for lunch. They got their mouths full. All right, let's get this set up. Plug that in. Da-da-da-da. So I didn't have a lot of black cars in here, and I think every car in the past 5 streams, I think most of them have been black. At least the thumbnails have been. There we go. Oh, wait, no, yesterday's was white. Cool. That works. Thank you for the 10 pack of glacé, by the way. Oh, thanks for the order. That's stacking up a little bit on it. Thanks for transmitting. It's a funny way to say it. I follow your advice and your techniques. Could you please show a little your air compressor? Yeah, sure. The air compressor is really like pretty basic, so it's not a shop air compressor. It's just I got a low profile side, like I got a low profile wall mounted one. So, but I can show it. I'd recommend just getting a regular shop air compressor over that one. The only reason I got it was because space was a premium at the last place I was at. Easy money. All the sweets pop. I can imagine. Where do we sign up for the classes? Classes. http://mytintstuff.com. I always come on here to see you use a plotter and nothing yet. We don't use it for the doors, other than like quarter windows, and then back window. I'm actually gonna check right now to see, because we're gonna do a third brake light cutout on this one. So this is 22. So we are gonna find out. 22 Toyota Camry. I don't know. I don't know if they'll do it or not. Oh, they do. Look at that. So they got a brake light cut out here. See that guy? It's a brake light cut out for it. So we'll probably cut this guy out and see what it looks like. It was a special request, so that's why we're doing it. We usually cover them up, but in this case, we're gonna do a cutout. It's one of those things where like I can freehand it, and they're pretty good, but it's been a while since I have, and if it's in the software, might as well just cut it out and see where it lines up and everything. Should be good. Not super worried about that one. Unless it's just horrible. Can you do bottom loading? No. Everything should be easy. It's all easy. So I don't know what they're quite done with next door. I don't think they're done the epoxy floor yet, but they've been like stripping the floor. I caught a glimpse of it yesterday. My neighbor moved out, which is actually awesome because they were a hookah distributor, and when they got shipments, all that smell would leak over here, and now it's gone. It is just gone. I'm so happy about that. So hopefully whoever moves next door, I mean, they're getting epoxy floor. It makes me think that they're doing car stuff. Even easy for Matt. All right, so we good? All right, let's get started. So I still got to pick up tape. Would you believe that I finish up here and then I totally forget everything that I need to get? So I should probably order it if I can't swing into somewhere and grab some tape. So just like yesterday, not much different from today. We're going to be using the same stuff. You've been tinting for 2.5 months? Nice. I didn't know a thing when I started besides soapy water for application. Well, you were bored knowing about tint? Me either. Knife. The knife. Where's the knife? There's the knife. So yeah, Camry, especially the new ones, they're pretty straightforward on most of it, including those quarter windows. So these are the quarter windows that just have gaskets around the whole thing, but they're kind of on the looser side, so pretty easy to tuck those in as long as your cuts are right. I wasn't blessed with the knowledge Matt had right off the bat. Trust me, it took me like a good year till I felt pretty competent in like most situations, and at that point, like it was already my full-time job. I was just tinting for my dad's shop, but I didn't know how to tint when I was working there. I learned how to tint there. Tape, as always, is just an extra precaution. It's a 22, so obviously these haven't had much time to get dirt, but it is just an extra thing that's nice to have. And then as for the bottom, sometimes the sticky plastic doesn't always stick. so this helps it stick. Matt has his way and I have my way. Yep. For sure. I don't think I really know two tinters that quite tint exactly the same. Everybody's got little differences and preferences. Matt doesn't pull panels. I pull anything that gets in my way. I have respect for that. As long as the end result is a nice, clean job, that is the goal. That's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to put out pretty things. Impressing. Ooh, super chat.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. Master Matt the Majajib of the Tint universe. Kumus Takuya. Good morning, buddy.
What was that? Daniel Reyna, thank you for the 10. Master Matt, the Majajib of the Tint universe. Thank you, sir. Hope you're doing well. All right, last one. There we go. So you guys see my TikTok from yesterday? It actually did pretty well. It did in line with the last two. So it's up to about 12,000 views, which is nice. Yeah, different tape because we have to go buy more of the other tape. This tape is just like good packing tape. It doesn't stick quite as well, but it'll work fine on this one. That's what I was trying in the very beginning. So I always have some extra just kind of laying around in an emergency. So I'm gonna put this up. So always double check the lower corners when it doesn't stick as well, because the lower corners will sometimes flip and then leave a little streak up the window. So I buy at Lowe's and I buy at I don't know, like hardware stores and Amazon, really. You're just looking for house wrap tape, so whatever's most convenient. So there's a Lowe's like not far from me. I'd never walk into Lowe's for like the longest time, and then one became really convenient, so I just kept going there. Home Depot's just a little bit farther out of the way. They both do the same thing, essentially. Cool. All right. Ooh, sticker. You know, general consumer advice there. How to pull a sticker off a window. What's a good way to do it without a razor blade? I mean, I all know with the razor blade, but I was wondering how many ways you can take off a sticker. That would be a good one. But heat gun, yeah, you could use a heat gun. Ooh, then hair dryer, right? Steam. So I was thinking more simpler household things. Something that you have laying around, right? I was just thinking, if you don't happen to have a 1-inch razor blade laying around your house, what can you use to remove a sticker in a pinch? Just throwing that out there. A Dyson, yes. Pull out the $400 hairdryer. A car key. a fork, a knife. I want to see somebody use a butter knife. Here we go. Dusty. See, it looks clean. I bet this thing was just washed not long ago, and then you do this, and it's like, there's always dust. There's always dust to clean off. Samurai sword, not bad. Yes, just pull out your trusty old samurai sword. Fingernail? Yeah. And, you know, I see that, but it doesn't work very well. Do you know what was funny, though? That Chris Fix video? He saw it and he commented on it. I was like, oh, shit. And then I watched it back. I was like, oh, I wasn't mean. I was just like, the title and the thumbnail was definitely a little bit strong there. So what I'm hearing is there really isn't anything good other than a 1-inch razor blade. Oh, that stream yesterday, it didn't end. I forgot to click end on the YouTube side of it. So it actually just like left it in perpetual live stream limbo. I totally forgot about that. Wait, we're gonna plot this. Ugh. But we're here. What do we do? Do we continue? Do we just dryer sheet it and call it a day? If we're gonna use the... Yeah, we'll just take it off. I kept hearing bye like 10 times. Yeah, it was funny. Or it's just kind of weird. There's a way to... Like, I found this setting on the live stream that doesn't kill the stream on YouTube's end. So if, for whatever reason, my internet cuts out or I have to reset my streaming software, it won't just kill the stream. So I'd rather have it that way, but it requires me to remember to stop the stream on my side and then also on YouTube's side. Canon. That was weird. So, for whatever reason, I forgot. You know, there's some channels that have like 5 live streams going all at the same time, and they're all different things. They're usually like music channels, but I didn't know you could do that on the same channel. That's kind of awesome, but I don't know what I would do with that. So, hey, it is what it is. Okay, so the back is prepped. we're going to grab our ceramic. Where's the DSP? It's sitting right there, too. $35, so this is going to go on the fronts. And then we're going to get $5 for the back. So I had a talk with Burns about what's going on with film. I was like, what the heck? And they're like, yeah, we're going to make an announcement today. I was like, oh, I didn't know you were making an announcement today. People were already telling me about it. So I got some samples that are going to be coming out here, so we're going to check it out. The lineup makes sense, though. So, yeah, what's up?
What time you close?
We close typically by about 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
Uh-huh.
So I'll be here around 5.
Yeah, I'll give you a call as soon as it's done, so 12, 3, it'll probably be done by 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
All right. I'll give you a call as soon as it's done. GoPro. What announcement? People were telling me yesterday, there's, let's take a look. Canon. Here, let me bring it up. Geo is dropping a new film, another one, and I'll be actually more interested in pulling this one in. So if we go to GeoShield USA, they have Pro Nano. Here's the spec sheet. Apex, here's the spec sheet. So basically how this goes, the C2, and then Carbon Plus, that's their new one, Pro Classic. So, and then they have V Nano. So they actually brought back V Nano because so many people requested it from them. And they had it, and then they discontinued it. And then so many people were like, no, we like it. And so they're like, all right, I guess we'll bring it back. Geo Series window film. What is this one? I don't know what this one is. What the heck? Oh, this is just a big spec sheet of all of them together. Okay, so the ones that I have, because this will be confusing for some people if you've never really saw their lineup, and they don't really go quite in order. I mean, do they? Yeah, they can. Okay. So, Pro Classic, this is no heat rejection. This is just a solid color stable dyed film. So, this is still a great film, good aesthetics, great shrinking, and what most people know tint to be is like just a high quality tint. This is it. So, from there, then you start adding carbon and ceramic. So the way this lineup works is carbon C2 here. So this would be a step up above Pro Classic. So I go from Pro Classic to C2. Then from C2, you either go to Pro Nano or you'll go to Carbon Plus. So this is kind of like where this forks a little bit. The Pro Nano has been around for longer, and it is a great performing heat rejection film. It's a great performing ceramic. It's a deep dyed color stable ceramic. So where this forks off is Carbon Plus is going to be a combo between carbon and ceramic. So it's built off of the C2 line, added ceramic, which really makes it more in line with just a high-quality ceramic film with no dyes in it at all. So you get really good IR numbers off of Carbon Plus. So they call it Carbon Plus, but it's really you could call it ceramic window film or ceramic carbon hybrid, or honestly, just having Carbon Plus in the name makes you think more that it's in line with their carbon film, when really it's a fork for ceramic, I think. So that's why I'm really interested in pulling this in, because I want to see how it compares to Pro Nano, and we'll probably be picking one or the other, to be perfectly honest. Like, I might end up doing this one instead of Pro Nano. And then from there, you have Apex, which, again, comes off the same platform, really, that like the Carbon comes from. And this is their best heat rejection. Would you drop C2? No. See, I'd go Pro Classic, C2, Carbon Plus. But if I'm being honest, I might put my own different name up front. So they don't have pricing just listed on the website. If you want to find out pricing, you can go to their store and make a login. So there's always a little separation between just regular customers shopping around and wanting, if you're like, hey, what film do you use? I use GeoShield. You can send them over to this site, and then they can learn about it. But obviously, dealer pricing is something that's different. I like how this is there. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to try it out. I actually didn't see pricing on it. Daniel Reyna.
Daniel Reyna super chatted $9.99. What's been the most challenging or circumstances in tinting lately, Kuya?
I don't think you've asked a super chat question in a long time. Thank you for the 10. What's been the most challenging or circumstances in tinting lately? Honestly, it's just been dealing with general slowdowns. Things have been going pretty well overall, but booking cars, I think these past couple weeks have just been a little bit more of a grind than it's been even in some of the deepest winter that we've had. So it's getting to the point where it's like a couple will come in, a couple more will come in, and then I'll get to like the end of that string, and then the phone calls will be a little light, so I need to focus more on just some general business posting and stuff. So thank you for the 10. I agree the name really... Birds, what's up? I agree the name really should be Carbon Plus Ceramic. Something like that. Because it really is like a fork at that point. So when I'm selling it to a client up front, to go from dye, carbon plus, and then they hear ceramic all the time, that's where I'm probably just gonna say, I don't have a name for it. But I'm looking forward to it. My guys wanted to call it Kryptonite. Nice. I really like the C2 name and the Apex name. Those are my favorite. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I think it'll be cool. TikTok tint. There you go. It's the official TikTok tint. Super.
B711 HD super chatted 99 cents.
B711. Thank you for the $1. I appreciate that a lot. I'm going to grab a bunch of Carbon Plus on my next order. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to do, as soon as it gets here, I've been holding off. I actually don't have 50%. I still don't have 50% on my windshield on the Blazer. So I'm going to do that, and we're probably going to redo the front doors. And I'll drive around with it and see how that compares. I think I gotta change this blade too. They're playing that music again next door, but that's okay. At least it's just the people that are redoing the floors. He is in Michigan. If you were in Michigan, I have you do my wife's minivan. Just got it. Yeah, I am in Michigan. I've been practicing with Avery Tint on a Honda CR-V. For the life of me, I can't get the fingers down on the sides. They're small, tiny. Any suggestions? Well, you have to get them to face up and down. So if you have fingers on the sides, they're not going to lay down. They're going to ruin the film when you try and shrink them. Everything's got to go straight up and down. I mean, a little diagonal is okay, but everything's got to go vertical. Good God, I forget how far over this is. These are some wide front door windows by like mirrors here. They keep going to here. Let's make sure we don't cut that short. Wait, you're in Michigan? Yes. Sterling Heights, Detroit area. Check out the channel icon. But I didn't put Detroit in the channel name. Nice, nice, nice. Pull this down. Right about there. Those shift a little bit. So when you go up and go back down, it goes just a little bit. How many spots for the classes? I made 8 spots available. I think over that, I'd maybe have a pretty hard time keeping up with everybody. We had, at the Chicago class, we did 10 or 11 spots, maybe 12. And they had extra staff, and it was all hands on deck for that class. Very, very busy. So we have 4 people. We have 4 people coming for this class so far. That's in a couple weeks.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $4.99.
So it'll be good.
Do you think your income will be less or better than last year, Kuya?
Daniel Reno with the 5. Thank you. Do you think your income will be less or better this year? It's looking to be better. For sure. So that's nice. I mean, I'm not a new business, but I still kind of am. So I've got a lot of growth ahead of me for being in this place. So, I mean, it really wasn't all that long ago that we were tinting out of the home garage, and before that, we didn't even have the studio. So word's getting out there. It's slowly coming up. We definitely have, you know, I'm no stranger to seasonal slowdowns and stuff, and they're always changing a little bit. Like wintertime, but where in that wintertime does it really slow down? There's but overall, you know, I didn't know what was going to happen from the big shutdown, but if anything, it increased business for a lot of people. That's been good. Oh, but regarding that appointment, hell yeah, we'll see what the future comes. And I'll give you a call. You're available on weekends? Yeah, I do Saturday appointments, so if you want to come over for a Saturday, yeah, we can definitely do your van. Let me know. Saturdays book up a little bit more ahead of time. Like, it's not bad right now, but Saturday, it's not unusual for it to book out a couple of weeks in advance when it starts getting a little busier. And then through the week is always a little bit easier to grab an appointment if you're flexible. I go back and watch a lot of your old videos sometimes, preview a car coming in. I haven't done crazy how long you've been on YouTube. I know, right? I mean, just this ridiculous catalog that we've built up on full cars has been kind of insane. Like, when you first start streaming and stuff, it's like, ugh. Like just making videos, and then it's just one at a time, and you just keep going, and then next thing you know, if you can do something consistently, before you know it, if you just try not to pay attention to like how many you've done, and then time goes by, you look back, you're like, holy shit, dude, it's nuts. I need to do something else, though. I need to bring regular videos back to this channel in some sort of consistent form. Been sidetracked a little bit with TikTok. I totally ignored it. And then we went like full bore these past couple weeks. Let's get to 1,000 on that. Have a good one, Mikkel. Where do you cut the details of the film on the wall? What materials? Is it glass or some kind of polycarbonate? Oh, yeah, that's a storm window. I made it look weird and fun. So there were storm windows that were left over in this shop from the last person that was in here. Super. So what I did...
Daniel Rayner super chatted $4.99. Do you the war in Ukraine will affect later window tinting? Since gas prices are also soaring?
Whew. We were almost off on this cup, but we just got it perfectly. Ooh, another super. That's a good one. One sec. So that is an iridescent film and a frost film on the back side of just a storm window. So I stripped the framing off of it, and then I tinted it with a couple of different films. I was just trying to make it interesting. I had backlights behind it, but it really messed with the camera, so turned the lights off, and it's just kind of been sitting there ever since. But yeah, it's glass. If you're gonna do a cut board, you want it to be glass. That holds up the best. Daniel Reyna with a 5. Do you think the war in Ukraine will affect window tinting since gas prices are soaring? Actually, yeah. I was talking about it with Burns a little bit. You know, car sales are down, gas prices are up. That's not great. So, I mean, I think, I definitely think it'll affect it in some way, but how long it'll affect it for, I have no idea. I mean, one of the biggest things right now is chip shortages, giant supply chain issues. It was also really funny talking to Burns because he referred to their distribution hub as a tint bunker. Like they're just stacking up like it's going to be an all-out war. So they're making sure that they are doing everything that they possibly can to make sure that they don't run out of film. Because supply chain issues for everybody is crazy. So, I mean, I don't know what else you can do to prepare for it other than make sure you have material on hand and try and be the best business that you can. Always look into diversifying yourself a little bit too. But what's been crazy about this is like things have been surging in price, but there also hasn't been the product to keep up with the demand either. So, hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Good. How are you? Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm doing one right now, actually. Uh-huh. No, it's actually my own thing. I call it Glass Aid. You can find it at my website, mytintstuff.com. It's a 10 mil thick tape. It's flexible and just cut resistant, so you can, you can cut on the glass without actually cutting through and damaging it. Uh-huh. Um, it's not quite the same thing, but I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. So there's some people that are using, then you're gonna want to make sure you got something a little thicker, because a lot of people are using like thinner pinstriping, and you'll end up cutting through that. So it'll create a white line so you can kind of see where you're cutting, but it still can damage the glass. Yeah. Yeah, if you want, I can text you a link to the site, though, so you know exactly what you're getting. Mm-hmm. It's actually carpet plastic. So the one I use is called Carpet Shield. You can find it at like Lowe's or Home Depot. Whoa, that was loud. I usually toss it after I'm done.
That can, you get it on a roll, or?
Yeah, it comes 24, like a 24-inch roll by, I don't know, like 200 feet or something.
All right, because I was using saran wrap for a while. That got kind of expensive just to keep from the door panel getting wet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's just regular the carpet.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. It hung up. Why did it hang up? It wasn't supposed to do that. I tried to lock the screen and it ended up hanging up the call. It's it's a guy that saw the channel and likes and saw some of the videos, and it's just funny because people call me while I'm live, and they tell me that they like the channel, and then it's like, I'm live right now. Hey man, sorry I hung up.
Yeah, I don't know if that was me or if that was you. I'm sorry. What was the name of that plastic you're using to cover the door panel?
It's called Carpet Shield. I'm sorry, it's really funny because I'm live and I get that question all the time.
Yes, we never seen it. We used to use, I was using, what you call it, saran wrap.
Yeah, that's not gonna stick.
Yeah, or I'll just cut a sheet, and then I'll just tape off the sheet, and it gets wet, and what I'll do is I'll just hang it up to dry.
Yeah. Yeah, there really isn't any great solutions. Like there's a couple more like plastic covers that you still have to like tape to the top. Those you can reuse if you got somewhere to hang them up and wipe them off and stuff like that. Those aren't bad either. I just always like the Carpet Shield. I could just pull off a sheet, stick it on, and I didn't mind throwing it out after.
Yeah, that's not bad. How many you think you get in a box? You get it in a box, right?
Yeah, it comes in a box. You can just go to the carpet section and.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate your insight. Next time I'm in town, I'll come by and see you. I'm in here in Roseville right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're pretty local then.
Yeah.
You used to Tint out that way.
Some friends, family. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, buddy. I appreciate you the little bit of insight. I mean, I really do. Thanks.
All
And
right.
yeah, if you can send me your link, I'll buy some of that tape off of you.
Okay, sounds good. I'll shoot that right over.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, sir.
All right, you have a good one.
Are you too?
Bye. Oh, the timing. The timing is just so funny to me. You guys know how many times I get that question, and so it's just putting it on speaker so you guys could hear it too. I don't mean to put anybody on blast or anything. So like, hey, somebody calls, they have questions. Like I totally get it. I'm not like I don't get mad or upset at anything about that. The timing to me is just hilarious. It's like, no, I'm live right now. Oh, okay. But it's kind of like, doesn't really realize like what that means. I don't know. I gotta shoot him a link though for Glass Aid, so I'll do that in a sec. Let's shrink some doors first. At least he didn't ho-hum a bunch, yeah. No, and like, I have people that call, they'll ask about the class, they'll ask about a situation. It doesn't happen a lot. There's sometimes that it's totally fine, and then other times that it's just, don't quite have the time, but that's what these streams are for. What you want to know? That's why you guys are buzzing in my ear. I can tell you. But the timing on that was great. Whoever thinks white vinyl tape is better is living in a tin can. It just depends on what your goals are. So there's quite a few people that looked at it, and your mind is immediately, oh, it's a white tape, he's marking the line so he knows where to cut. If that's what you're looking to do, then you don't need to buy Glass Aid. You can find any number of cheap pinstripes, and that's what I would have been using if that's all I wanted it for. And I definitely wouldn't have sold it as Glass Aid, because that doesn't make sense to me. It's unique because it is a 10 mil thick material, and it's in a 1/4-inch form. It just doesn't exist. You can find thick and wide, or you can find thin and slim, or wide and slim. I don't know. But they don't have it. So you can find pinstriping. That's not old news. Or that is old news. I'm gonna call you and ask you to help me shrink a back window next time. You know, trying to explain how to tint over the phone, that's why there's video. That's why there's live streams. It's so much more visual than it is verbal. Like, there's basic instructions, but when you can see it, like, it makes a lot more sense because there's so many little nuances to it. Hey, Matt, where do you buy the Lowe's tape? Yeah, I get that one a lot, too. That one, at least, is like, it's plastered on it. Where do you buy that? Oh. Any more classes soon? Yeah, literally all the classes are soon. They've only ever been soon. So we have one in a couple weeks, we have one at the end of next month, and we have the one at the end of May. Canon. Do you try to upsell your customers to the ceramic? I always tell my customers the pricing for each, but they tend just to go with dyed film. Do you have a heat box demo? Heat box and education ahead of time. Those are your two main things that you need. All right. Let me. You should get a carpet shield sign right next to the roll with an arrow pointing at you. No. People don't read. It's like putting a no parking sign in front of a garage door. People still park there. We'd see that all the time. Didn't you see the sign on the door? No. Glass aid. Oh, wow, when it dropped a link in chat. See, that's easier. GoPro. It's just funny. Yeah, people don't read. I mean, one of the funnier ones is, I get asked constantly, what film do I use? It's written all over the walls. Hey, I've been watching your videos and your streams. I really like them. What film do you use? I don't think you really were watching. Difference with the tape is finding it. Look forever, but finally find it. It's called house wrap tape. Yep, I try and say house wrap tape quite a bit on here now. There's just different versions of it. Lowe's has a version. Tyvek has a version. Tuck tape is another pretty good one. So there's a lot of versions. It's all house wrap tape. So it's acrylic adhesive and a nice strong thin plastic backing to it. Works really well. House wrap or, yeah, sheathing. Using that compared to painter's tape, I don't know why anybody would ever use painter's tape again. It's just because they never heard of sheathing tape or house wrap tape and thought to try it. Painter's tape is much more common, but it's thicker, it's waxy. When you spray it, it likes to fall off the glass or off the paneling too. So it's not a great option. At least I've never liked it. That's why I didn't use it. That's why I never got used to taping it, because I hated the tape. I didn't know about this stuff until like much later. This one's just not as good though. So this is really the difference between packing tape. When you're sticking it to like painted surfaces, it's fine, no problems. But this is a plastic surface here, so house wrap tape is going to stick to it a lot better. I gotta remember to go pick some up. It's not like I'm in Lowe's every day. The plastic to cover the doors. Can you use it on multiple doors? You kind of can. It just depends on how wet it gets. So like if you can hang it up to dry, or you can just take it and usually it'll have enough stick to a nice clean surface. So there's a chance you can still use it. I just typically waste a bunch of it, so I don't know. It's definitely not the most economical or planet-friendly solution. Some companies are putting out like plastic door covers that are reusable. You just have to do a tape seal at the top of it. To me, it was always a little bit annoying to like try and seal that kind of stuff up against the top edge. So this is just, it's really efficient, but it is more wasteful, yeah. Not many things stick very well to door panels. I guess that's probably intentional. Less staining. Nice. Looks good. Let's make sure we're all covered on the outside. Yeah, it's looking healthy. Good. Tacky, tacky. Roll this up. Sweet. This is Galaxy Film 3M. What? The only Galaxy that I know of, besides the Samsung Galaxy is Galaxy by SolarGuard. That was their thicker. This is their 1.5 mil film. That's like one of the only ones that they had at the time that was 1.5 mil. It's a 1.5 mil color stable. How much do you overlap on the sides? Most of the time, it's like an eighth to like a quarter of an inch. Usually, I guess usually a quarter of an inch. Sometimes if they're a little bit looser, we'll go a little farther over. That's part because I can. And sometimes you have little gaps in your seals. So Toyota, Subaru, a lot of like the Korean and Japanese cars, they're really easy on the framings that they do. They're a lot different from like US manufacturers and German manufacturers. So I can show you an example real close here. On this front one, or on this long back edge here, the seal basically stops, like on the inside of the glass, it basically comes to about here, but it's at an angle. So my seal's here, on the inside it's here, but when we look at it here, it's kind of beveled in here. So if I just go like a quarter of an inch here, there's potentially a little bit of a gap. But it's usually not so bad. This, on the other hand, is really spaced. Is that a super chat?
Efren Garcia super chatted $9.99. Going to be taking your class in May Sensei. Cool face.
Hell yeah. Efren. Oh, that's so cool. You've been around this channel for a while. It'll be awesome to have you. Looking forward to it, man. Thank you so much for the 10. It'll be awesome. You're getting a hell of a setup, too. Okay, so on this, like, I spent too long on this one, but on this front edge, this was my main point. There's a gap here between the plastic and touching the glass. So I can see pretty far into this seal right here, similar to like an F-150. So on that, I'll just want to tuck it over farther, where on the outside, you might have all your gaps covered, but then on the inside, you might see like a brightness difference right here. It's a nitpicky thing, but I'll make them a little bit longer. On average, usually just a quarter of an inch, but when we can, we'll make them a little bit longer if it looks like we should. On the back doors, we don't have that same plastic. It's like this seal on this side on both of this, so. And then also sometimes you have windows that do this. See, they rock back and forth, so like when you roll them down, they'll like shift this way and roll them back up and they shift the other way. All sorts of little tolerance difference there. Do you get fingers on the side of frames? I always get a couple small ones. They're not a big deal, but it's annoying. Every once in a while, I'll still get something that pops up. But usually it's just, if you're getting them on the sides, shrink your window just a little bit more, and that should fix it. Whoa! It's like the whole OG crowd now. Got Efren, we got LKB.
LKB Pythons super chatted $2. Damn son, long time, what's good?
Oh, you know, just doing the same old, same old. Thank you, LKB. Thank you so much for the 2. Good to have you back, man. Yeah, it has been a while. We took off the sticker. Oh, you know what I want to make? I want to make a TikTok about. I want to make it about the dumb backup cameras on this car and my minivan. Both brand new vehicles look like they have backup cameras from the 1920s. Just garbage old CCTVs. Why? That's what I want to make it about. Should I do that? Maybe. Yeah, seems fair. But I backed this one in, and I couldn't believe it. It's identical. It's the same thing. It's just so bad looking. So many other manufacturers stepped up. Toyota's still in the dark ages on that stuff, though. Like, the silver lining is that they put, like, Android Auto and CarPlay, so you can at least have something modern, but the system itself is just, like, ancient looking. My Subaru has an HD one. So does my Blazer. My Blazer's got like a crystal clear friggin' 360 camera setup. It looks so much better. For a long time, like, I mean, even Ford back in like 2015 still looked really good compared to like a lot of other companies. And then like, you know, like Chrysler were really stuttery. You know, like tinting a lot of cars, it's like you get glimpses at all these systems compared to like a lot of other ones. And so you'd see a lot of people step up their game eventually with like a big generational change. And then I thought it was like a thing of the past. I don't really get that many Toyotas in here. And then I get my van, and it's just like, oh, what? That's a backup camera? What the fuck? It's bad. I'll show you guys on this one. This is a call out against Toyota. Step up your game. I mean, their stuff is back ordered like everybody else's, so it doesn't matter for them. But hey, you're gonna pull some weird remote starter crap on me eventually too. So joy. Right there. Let's get that thing super close. Good, good. Where'd you get the squeegee blade? This hybrid one, Sun Distributing, Tint Depot. They both have them. I scuffed my green triage on a sunroof. Aw, that's no good. See, triages are one of those things, though, that you're always going to be reordering too. They'll scuff one way or another on, you know, just general wear and tear. But that's no fun if it got scratched or got scuffed early. Gotta be extra careful. Put that thing in a glass case when you're done with it. And made my hybrid have streaks. Oh no, not the hybrid too. Yep, we still have them in stock. But for the squeegee blades, I don't know. I got sandpaper I can still try that I've been putting off on even trying. But there's sandpaper, and then I have my little like vise trimming situation. So whenever I have like the blade is feeling a little rough, like right here, right now, we can go over there and do it because it takes 2 seconds. That's why I like this. So if it starts to streak, that's what I have this setup. This is kind of an overkill setup, but it wasn't very expensive. I mean, really, you don't even have to get an angled vise. You just get a vise and a couple of brackets here. Clamp it down. And then, so this basically sits pretty damn flush with this edge here, like just a little bit up. And you can just take your knife, put out some blade, and then just hold that down. And then coast right along the top. And then boom, there you go. So I'll pop off these ends here. If they're a little curved. And then we got a nice fresh squeegee. I wore through this other side quite a bit too, so eventually doing it this way, you still have to buy a squeegee blade because it'll only last for so long. But that is a way to make a squeegee blade that you spent a good amount of money on last for much longer. Because I know the hybrid ones, like, I mean, squeegee blades have been going up in price anyways, but they're like, I think they're like 40, or no, sorry, not 40. I think they were like 50, the hybrid was like 15, and I think it's upwards of like $17 to $20. Did you cut the squeegee with a carbon blade? Yeah, but you can do it with any of them. It was the blade that I had on hand. So, no reason to do that over another one. It's just, it's all I had. Or it's what I had on hand, so. I think the Orange Crush is my favorite. Yeah, that's a great squeegee blade. It's probably their most popular, I think. I think we're gonna cut out the back window and the quarters all together. So we'll just mosey along doing the rest of the windows. Cropped or beveled. Cropped. So cropped is this way, right? There's like beveled, which I usually think has to deal with that. So cropped and beveled. That's my favorite. The only thing about the hybrid is that it doesn't come in that type of version, so it's just beveled. They don't have a cropped one because the whole thing is you got one side and you got the other side. So it wouldn't make sense. But the trade-off is you only have one squeegee blade that only lasts so long too. So I think it's like the best size one where you can get it in the most spots. But once you start damaging that blade and wearing it out, you don't have anything else. So it's like, I like it the best, but there's a little trade-off there. Seven days later, customer point out air bubbles. Can this be fixed? Unfortunately, no. That is what makes tinting so difficult. Dirt specks, air bubbles, all that's gotta be clean on the delivery, and you can see that stuff ahead of time. There might be like a couple small things that you miss. Not everybody's perfect, but like a lot of those spots will have water sitting inside of it. So it'll look clean on delivery, and then it'll dry out, and guess what? The dirt specks are still left behind. So the only thing that fills in that void is air. So it's a redo, my man. It's never fun. And that's what makes tinting so difficult. Orange Crush with a longer handle is my favorite. Nice, very nice. Like, I like the Orange Crush a lot, and then like after a month of consistent use, it started to leave like Orange Crush streaks behind. So that's why I was still looking for another blade, but I really like the Orange Crush. I really think the best material that they have is the hybrid. So if they made it the hybrid if they used like the hybrid material and they made it in like just a regular blade, I mean, that would be really cool too. It's my favorite. It's not really like one side versus the other. I actually like, I don't know. People say they can feel the difference between the sides. Like some people pop in here and tell me that. And I don't notice it. I must not be that tuned into it. Because to me, they both slide really well. They feel very, very similar. Kind of like triages, like the yellow, the blue, and the pink. They're all pretty similar. The pink's their most expensive material, though. Tinting outdoors, what? I'm mobile, so it's not easy getting it flawless. I didn't see the spots when the job was done. Oh man, redo it is. Thanks, buddy. Oh, were you doing it outside? Or were you doing it in like another garage or something? See, that's why mobile like extra sucks. And this is always a big conversation. There's more than one way to do mobile, but tinting is similar to trying to paint a car outside. Outside, fully mobile. Good God. See, you're just giving yourself a lot of headache. And that's what is going to make it so tough for you. Mobile for me is tinting for other companies, going to an enclosed space. They can have other stuff. They can have stuff going on. I can't afford rent. Yeah, so what I did was either customer has an enclosed garage, which I still didn't like going to people's houses, or I would, like my favorite mobile was partnering up with some consistent shops that had a good track record and were looking to add window tint to their services. But most of them can't keep a tinter to save their life because most of them don't pull in enough tint work. So what you do is you go to one of them 1 or 2 days a week, you go to another of them 1 or 2 days a week, and then you have your own gig a couple days a week or whatever too. Any which way you want to slice it. So that way you're not tinting outside and you have consistent money and work coming in. And they save you too because they're the one that's booking the jobs and the clients. So you just roll in there. They got a bunch of work lined up for you to do. You knock it out, and then you leave. And it's not their main business either. So like, I mean, sometimes that counts against you because they don't care about booking tint, so then you drop them. But other times it's great because your margins can be much better in a place like that. We were doing 75% margins off of people booking us work. So we go in there, they pay for their overhead, they book the clients and everything. They charge anywhere from $250 to $300 for a full car, and I'd take home 75% of that. I'd still have to provide the tint, but that was a win in my book. Went like that for a while. That shop was still looking for a tinter. I couldn't find anybody to send over there. So I can't afford rent here. Yeah, like I didn't want a garage. It's a lot. I think tinting from home is a cool option too, but that's another thing entirely. So tinting outside is probably one of the hardest things to do in this whole field, because you got to consider opportunity costs too. I go to vinyl shops. What was that? Hang on, let me tuck this in. I can read the rest of it. But I can tell you dealerships and vinyl shops. Sounds like it'd be a good bet. Sometimes you can find a good one that's willing to work with you. Vinyl is closely associated with window tint, so a lot of times they've already dabbled in window tinting. And you're right. They understand the material cost of it. I say target glass shops. Glass shops, collision shops are a tough one because they usually don't have somewhere clean for you to work. Glass shops, auto accessory shops, I think if they're like a really nice auto accessory shop, they've probably done tint too and want it on their service list. So they're a little bit more iffy. But looking for those like closely associated auto services but that aren't quite in the film realm, that's where I've seen, high-end detailing. High-end detailing's the other one. The best accounts were glass shops, like good glass shops. There's bad glass shops too, and detailing. So much better way to go that way. Dealerships, they're all nickel and diming everything, and they got too many other things to worry about. So tinting for them is an afterthought. They'll either hire an in-house tinter and have like a plotter and do that whole in-house program and tack on $500 to like the monthly cost of the vehicle and just roll it into their payments. Or they're find a tinter for a little while. They need them to come down every time's an emergency, like, we got this car, we're trying to deliver it, we need window tint now. That's a lot of them. There's a handful of good ones out there, though, if you look hard enough. But yeah, like I said, it's closely, I'd call it like trying to paint a car outside. It's tough. You got so many other things working against you, so. I have a windscreen with chameleon foil on this Saturday. Now the customer wants the shade band. Can I stick it over it or against it? So the cleanest look is going to be do the chameleon film first, because the only way that they're going to see that color of the chameleon if it's on the glass and there's no tint blocking it. You can still do a sunshade over the chameleon film on the inside. You're not going to see it on the outside, which I think, thank God, because that would be, in my opinion, kind of ugly. But you can definitely layer it over the inside of the chameleon film. Just make sure it's in the right spot, because once you put it on there and it starts to dry, you're not fixing it. It's a one-shot go. So I do them here and there for people. I have no problems with doing a strip over a full windshield. Totally fine. Just do the full windshield first. Bum, bum. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Sure. What kind of vehicle? Okay. Did you want to just do the front doors, or are you looking to do more than that? Okay, front two doors with full windshield. That would start at $250. So it's $100 for the front doors and $150 for the full windshield. I couldn't get you in today. It's a little later in the day. Let me check my schedule. Because probably have to book it Let me see what I got. If I can get you in tomorrow. If that's not too far away. I could get you in at, today's Wednesday. I could get you in at 10 a.m. tomorrow. All right, no problem. You have a good one. I need it now. I need my windshield now. Oh, somebody just booked. Was that Efren? Load. Efren! Efren just booked a spot in May for the class. Hell yeah. This will be fun. What do we got now? Dang, we got people coming out. This is exciting. So we got 4 spots left for March still, which honestly will make it super busy. We got 6 spots left for April, and then we got 5 more spots left for May. Might change it to 6, but I figured we can, if we have 8 people wanting to come out, we can accommodate for it. So we got space. We'll make it happen. It'll be fun. But yeah, this is super cool. Efren, looking forward to having you, bud. Pal, chum. Do you ever get that where somebody it stands out so much when somebody says it. I try not to say it, but I don't know why I do, because I've heard it for the longest time. When somebody calls somebody like pal or bud, you reply with like bud, or if somebody calls you bud, call them pal. Thanks, pal. I don't know why I did that. Thank you for the advice. I appreciate it. We'll keep looking for an indoor space or for someone that's allowed me to work alongside them. Yeah, like, if you know how to tint, or pretend like you know how to tint, like, like, be confident enough so somebody will give you a shot. And, like, yeah, if you bring in the work, I can do it. You can work out a pricing sheet, understand that, like, yeah, they're going to get a cut of it. But the whole thing about, like, it's not a big deal, because you got overhead in a building, and you have your film costs, and, like, that's that fixed recurring monthly payment that you always got to make sure that you can cover. When you're tinting in another shop, obviously somebody else is also getting a cut of that, but they're supposed to, like, be a super valuable part of your whole thing. They're bringing in a lot of work for you to do, or enough for it to make sense. So, like, 75%, like, I was happy with even a couple cars in a day. That was great. Nice chill day. It was awesome. Canon. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Yeah, this is Matt. Good, how are you? Yeah, I sent you a little response back. But basically, what it looks like, because it's really far away on the picture too. If it's something that you're seeing in like down towards the mirror area is where I saw it the most. Like, in the picture, like, I kind of saw it scattered throughout. Looked a little bit stronger in the picture. You could see it more towards, like, where the shadow of the mirror was, a little up from that. Right. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, what we're looking at is, like, those little white speckles from a distance, right? Right. So, I can definitely take a look at the car. Usually tint imperfections is, like, if you were showing me white speckles from the outside of the car, that's definitely a tint issue. From the inside looking out, it just looks like dust or something from... Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. R- uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I mean, I can definitely take a look at it in person if you want to swing by. Anytime you want to come by, this afternoon right now, would actually work out pretty well if you're available. Okay. Do you want to bring it in on Saturday for me to take a look at it then? You're off Friday? Okay. Let's set something up for. Let's set up something then for Friday and I can take a look at it. But okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, it'd be really unusual. Like that's why I'm thinking it's got to be something with the glass and not the tint. But I mean, I'm not trying to brush it off and say like that's not my problem. I can definitely take a look at it. I just think that we're dealing with something else entirely. Mm-hmm. No, just glass cleaner, and if the surface of the inside of the tint and the outside of the window are clean, then everything will be good. So that's one of the key things that is like, it's very odd. If you can only see it in direct sunlight, that makes it sound um, like something with a glass entirely. So I mean I can look at it in person and try and help you out with it. But if being honest with you, if it looks like just a nice clean tinted window, the most that I could do is retint it. But I don't think anything would change. But I'm not trying to brush it off and say it's not like an issue that can't be explained on one way or another. I'll definitely take a look at it. I mean, we went with our color stable dyed on it. That's probably the clearest film that I have. So there wouldn't be any. Are they laminated front windows? So the way you could tell is if you roll down the front windows and then you'll see like a little bridge there. Like there'll be like a little laminate in between the film and the glass. But I mean, if they look fine during the daytime, like I said, I'm just trying to give you the best explanation over the phone that I can. It's probably better that we just set up a day and we can talk about it in person. Uh-huh. Right. Right. I understand that. Right. That's where it gets hard for me to say on my end because imperfections in the tint, you'd be able to see it whether or not the sun's out. You'd just be able to see them. So let's set up a day for Friday so we can take a look at it, and or set up a time for Friday, and then we'll try and go from there. Does 10 o'clock work for you? Okay. I'll mark it down, and then I will see you Friday at 10 o'clock here. All right, no problem. See you then. Bye. Yeah, that one. It's a tougher thing. So I got the picture. Oh, that's frozen. Hang on. This is just part about being a tint business. God, we're getting a lot of phone calls today. when it's slow, it's slow, and then like I said, out of nowhere it'll pick up, and then you'll have a bunch of things to do. That's just how this business works, and you never know when it's going to pick up. You never know exactly what day it's going to pick up or what time, but all of a sudden it'll just pick up. Yeah, so there was a car that we ended up doing Pro Classic in, and he's talking about the driver's window, or sorry, the passenger front window. He sent me a picture of it. So you can see speckling all the way from the driver's side through it, but it looks like dust sitting on the window. That's what it looks like. But he said he's cleaned it off, and he can only see it at that time of day, and he doesn't know what it is. So then the other thing that you could say, it's like, well, maybe it's a low-angle haze or something. But it's a color-stable dyed film. It's literally not going to have any added haze to it whatsoever. So, like, it's not even that. And I can see what he's talking about in the picture. So, but this is a situation where he didn't notice it before, and now he has the tint, and now he notices it, and so I don't know. We might have to just redo a window to put somebody at peace, because like that's as much as I can do on that. He doesn't see anything wrong with the window unless he's sitting in the car looking directly at the sun. That's a interesting situation, so we'll figure it out one way or another. It was an Audi that we actually did on stream. It was actually the Audi that we broke a brake light on. So it was not an old or bad car. I think it was like a 16, 17 or something. So what I'm wondering is if it's a laminated front door. See, this is where it's like, all right, we just gotta schedule a time, and then you can bring it in and I can look at it. Because like maybe it's a laminated front window, so like there's something added, not added in the laminate, but like just something funny about the glass. I mean, it really, like, to me what it looked like is when you have a slightly pitted windshield, and then when the sun brightens up that windshield, you see all those little pits. Like, it's kind of what it looked like, but again, it's just, you know, no, I don't see anything wrong with it until I'm in direct sunlight. And then I noticed these little, like, thingies, so we'll have an explanation. Whether or not he'll want to believe it, that's another thing. So we might end up, just to put everybody's mind at ease, we may have to just remove it and then retint it. Cursed Audi. It happens. So those situations, you just, what's the saying? Take it on the chin. They don't happen very often. So when they do, just do your best. You know, you're not them. They came to you. They got their car tinted. Just try and be the best you can to at least have some type of understanding. And, you know, I would hear sometimes over the phone talking to people, little situations where, oh God, we got the phone again. Canon. God, this is just not doing it today. Hello, Tint Studio. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Correct. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only thing I can think of is maybe there's something on the surface there, but I'll be able to tell you better in person when we take a look at it. So worst comes to worst, we end up redoing it just to maybe see if that'll fix it, if like adjust the I don't know. Well, I'm talking too much. We'll look at it on Friday and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, but yeah, ammonia free. All right, you have a good one. Wow, no. The night curse, probably Ash. You guys are so nice. I forgot what I was even saying, but something along those lines. Like, it happens. Oh yeah, sometimes I'd be on the phone. No, I wouldn't say this was slight. Like, it's not like a slight thing. The thing is, I can't believe it's, like, it's not tint, though. But it's like, everything looks good until the sun shines on my window. It's like, so we'll be able to at least take a good look and kind of identify what would cause that. Because if it really is completely dust-free at the time that he's sending me that picture, because that's what it looks like, is literally like, you know, the glass looked clean and I wiped off a little bit of dust. It would literally be that, so. But, so, kind of speaking on imperfections and like when somebody's got a problem with their tint job and they come back to you and you think it's really small, well, to them, it's something really big because they actually like made it a point to come back to you. Not everybody will do that. Some people will just like live and be unhappy with it. So if it's like, I say reasonable, you know, somebody comes back like, hey, there's a couple things on this window. You look at it and you're like, yeah, but it's really small. There's always going to be something you can explain that. But always try and go a little bit above and end up redoing it. Because then you showed that you're not just trying to pass them off. It's just a healthy thing to do. So even if you think it's like, there's no reason to redoing this guy's being ridiculous or whatever, they brought you their car, they just want a nice job. If they're not like throwing complaints at like one little speck in every window of the car, if they're like, yeah, this window, or I saw something over here, I'm just not sure. Because once you see something like that, I messed up. Once you see something like that, you don't unsee it. And that's the biggest problem. So if you redo the window, then it's a blank slate. And how do we do this? Okay, we go that way. Enter, and we can push this up to 72, 66. There we go. Because in their mind, it's a fresh window, and then they're going to be a little bit more understanding. Well, he took care of it. He redid the window, and I'm maybe not going to look as close the second time around or whatever. So there's usually some sort of like understanding there. All right, now on this back window, we are doing these. I don't know what these are. I've seen them on a few, but I don't know what they are. So we're going to get rid of those little dots. And then we're going to cut out some quarters. And hopefully these will fit. 36. Yeah, they'll definitely fit. No, I could show you guys the picture. It's not seatbelt damage or anything like that. It's not necessarily what you think it is. It literally like takes sand and throw it in a window tint job, and you have a nice even speckling through the whole thing. But it's the picture that's taken on the inside all the way from the driver's things. It's just something that's like, it looks like noise is the best I can describe it. So not in the tint, or else it would just be a picture of the outside of the tint. Looks like a nice clean tint job. So this is film cut. So we're gonna just rearrange these. We're gonna cut out a handful of quarter windows and then this back window with the brake light. Again, the reason we're doing that is just because it was specially requested. No, it was a lot. But it's... There we go. All right, let me run over here and get it. Actually, let me try this. I've always wanted to try this. I never just set it up. I want to give it more of like a thing to like roll down on. I think that's actually better than trying to hook back in the basket. Because sometimes that flips and then it like sticks to itself. Oh, that is getting real scary close there. How do I pause this thing? Oh no. Okay. Hang on, buddy. Gotta push this roller over a little bit. And then... No! Fuck me. Oh, god damn it. That hurt real bad. Is it? It shouldn't be. Where's my window? It's on the other one. Dun dun dun. No, that's good. Oh, that one hurt so bad. I hate that shit. This is probably my biggest gripe with this damn machine. The more this thing goes back and forth, I swear, the worse that it, here we go. Let me just cut this off because this will be fine. Luckily, it wasn't ceramic. It is ceramic, though. The rollers are my biggest gripe about this thing. So when it goes back and forth and makes a bunch of cuts, this one has a tendency to sometimes go a little sideways. I don't know if it's that roller and that roller, or if it's that roller and that roller is okay. But for whatever reason, it just... It should have started with the back window, but instead it started with the quarter windows, and then it was no good. Film cut's like $85 a month. It's real cheap. Real cheap for plotter software. All right, let's try and fix this. You know, all for a cutout that I'm not even sure is going to be up to par, but we'll find out. So we're going to put this back, and then we're only going to cut out that back window because now we have quarters. So are we going to do it again? Sure, why not? That's smart. Let's try it. Actually, you know what we should do? How often do you have to use 24 and 40? 24s for like F-150s and bigger truck windows. 40s, basically never. unless you like cutting things out on a plotter, or in that case 40s sometimes work out a little bit better. 20s, it just depends. It just depends on like how much film you're trying to save for like each particular situation. So I usually just carry 24s and 36s right now. I still got some 40s, but all right, we're gonna take these out. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna cut, and then we're gonna cross our fingers. Yeah, see, it's still shifting. Watch. Watch how much this off tracks. It's about a quarter of an inch right there, and now it's going back the whole way. So the more it keeps going back and forth, it keeps scooting this way a little bit. It's just there's something wrong with the alignment on it. I don't exactly know how to adjust for that, because most of the time you line up a roll and it's fine. Putting more film out and then cutting it out is not the solution for that. It's literally like, no matter how many times you run it back and forth, it's constantly shifting this way, so. So we just gotta get that straightened out one of these days. The Workhorse 2 is much better. Yeah, maybe. I've got one. So one of these days I'll unbox it. Plotter Depot just asked that I do it a little bit later, that's all. Because they were expecting a big shipment, and then they ran out, and they've just been hung up at port, so they didn't want me to do a stream, and then all of a sudden have, like, nobody that actually wanted to get it, like, they wanted them in stock, so they said, can you hang on a little bit? I said, sure. God, it's so weird having a brake light cut out. I need a bigger glass for it. Come on. There we go. Definitely need a bigger glass board cut out. Workhorse 3, April 1st. Cool. So by the time that we can do a video on the Workhorse 2, they're going to be like, yo, dog, let's do the Workhorse 3 now. I'm going to be like, make up your mind. Some people are real dicey with this, and they'll just, I mean, if you get a plotter set up just right, you can go through the entire thing, and just as you weed it and pull the liner, you can do all of it at the same time. I just haven't quite gotten this one to that state. It's always thrown me a little surprise, little snag here or there, especially when I mess up the plotter. You know what would fix this, though, is if I actually had, like, properly sized glass boards for all this. Maybe icing on the cake, though, is if this actually just doesn't line up. It looks like it'll be okay. It's a little on the big side, but it's a brake light cutouts. I'm not especially fond of brake light cutouts at all. So Gorilla Tape over cut strip, even if the cut strip is brand new. Really? I've heard of it, but not if the cut strip is new. So That's cool. Here, I gotta put this back over here and fix something. See, I have extra pieces of glass. I gotta get a couple extra tables. We'll have glass tables out to weed stuff out on plotters. There we go. That's what I wanted to fix. Did you pull out a GME? No, I've been stuck in GME for a year. I mean, whatever's happening is still happening. It's just funny how long everything is seemingly taken. It's just stayed in every run, just sitting back, watching it all slowly unfold. I'm patient with it. It'll work out one way or another. He's going ballistic on Bed Bath & Beyond, which is really funny. No, that's actually good. Okay, that's about right. That's what I was hoping. I don't remember if I did a plotter cut version of this back window before, but this is kind of what you want to see, where it doesn't come up too far past the plastic. What is that cutout? That is special request, because he actually got a ticket over in Chicago specifically for a brake light, so it's not something he really wants to do either. He's like, yeah, I'd just rather not have a ticket for it, so if you could just do a cutout, I'd appreciate it. No problem. No problem. I get it. Yeah, not everybody's crazy. There's usually stories behind it that when you hear them, it's like, oh, okay. But, yeah. It's here, you can go as dark as you want. It's the front doors that you can get in trouble for, but I mean, it sounds like he's probably going to be going back to Chicago every once in a while, so like, that's why it is this way. But every state's different. Some, you can only go so dark in the back. Michigan is kind of an all or nothing state. You either do, I mean, you can go as dark as you want in the back, and nothing but the top 4 inches. So when I shrink a window and take it and place it again, I still have some fingers because maybe I'm going a bit too fast. I'm going to take it off and place it again. No, I don't think speed has anything to do with it. Sometimes you're just lifting and readjusting things. You can reshrink it a little bit more. So some people will have a tendency to like double shrink some of their windows. So when you shrink it, they'll pick it back up and then kind of reshrink that area just because things might lay down a little bit differently. Can't shrink a back window to save my life. Well, then you got to put somebody else's life at risk, and then maybe you'll be able to do it. But I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say what you're doing wrong. I mean, classes are a thing. Shrinking is a tough thing to Shrinking is just one of those tough things to get the hang of. You have to learn how to read the film. And I had this guy tell me early on, he was like, if I could just give you a book and it'd teach you how to read the film. And he really isn't kidding. It's like, you got to learn how to watch for patterns. Everything kind of looks a certain way as it's moving, and you can tell when something's going to bunch up, and you can tell when things are going really smoothly, or when you need to adjust and whatever. So people usually just over shrink in certain areas, or then you get scared that you're going to mess it up, so you don't shrink it enough, and then it ends up bunching up together, and then you crease it. So a crease always happens when the film is bunched up. A burn happens when there's just too much heat on it. Why is shrinking important? Oh, because we want it to lay flat on the window. If you don't shrink it to form to the glass, it's not going to lay flat on the window. Actually, a good TikTok video. Ooh, that hurt to make. I should do that. Take an extra 10 minutes. Like, why do you have to shrink a window? Actually, I don't know if that'd be a good one. It's kind of interesting. Are you really not going to let me pull these headrests? There's no way. On the inside, I got to go back to the trunk. Come on, Toyota. Dang. Too old. All right, where's the button? Seriously? Oh, there it is. Dang, Toyota. Why you gotta be that way? A lot of cars are that way. It's not specifically Toyota. It's just Toyota today. All right. So doing this back window here. I've creased it, I've burned it. I'm gonna keep practicing. That's how you get it. I mean, at one of those points, it is good to be able to talk to somebody in person and try and get some better guidance on what's going on there. What heat gun are you using? I'm assuming Wagner. Wagner, yeah. Well, that's good. At least we're on the same page with that. What film? Orbit? Oh, okay. Yep, it's a good shrinking film. It's a really nice, smooth shrinking film. So you have all the right things. You just gotta learn how to put those together. That's no fun, though. How do you clean your clay bars? I turn on some warm water, and I just let the whole thing heat up for a little bit, and then just massage it under the warm water. That's really the best you can do on any type of like synthetic clay bar. They're gonna kind of scuzz up, but like they'll discolor from so much like whatever black crappy soot that you're picking up off the back window. Where's my other one? There it is. Should have known it was in the same spot. But most of them will, I mean, they'll massage pretty clean. It just takes a little bit of work to do. They're not going to be like sparkling white. So that gets kind of annoying, but you know that it's working. Does Pro Nano shrink really well? Actually, yeah, it's a fantastic shrinking film. I did a video a while back on Pro Nano versus like a carbon, like an earlier carbon. The carbon took forever to shrink in comparison. Pro Nano is like stupid fast. Okay, so I haven't done a brake light cutout in a little while, and what's most concerning is just getting it to line up and making sure all the fingers are pressed down around it if there happen to be any. Like, it's not difficult, it's just a little different. Because I'd usually take a bulldozer, push it down in the entirety of the brake light, but here I'm going to be just try and be a little bit more careful on the sides so I don't flick a corner up on it or something. And then there's going to be a little bit of popping in and out of the car to make sure it's lined up, because you don't want a brake light cutout to be not centered, where with a regular back window, as long as all your edges are covered, it doesn't matter if it's a little shifted or not. You would never know, and it wouldn't make a difference. But this is for precision. That cutout's got to be in the right spot. So the only way I'd ever do a brake light cutout is I'd brighten up the inside of the window. Sorry, there's a headrest in my mouth. I'd brighten up the inside of a window and I'd just freehand it, usually with a couple of adjustments along the way. Ding, ding, ding. That metal headrest gets really annoying, but that one does not come out. So we should be pretty damn close to where it's going to be. Probably go this way just a hair. Tweak it just a little bit. It's pretty damn close. They did a really nice job on this cutout. Because we're even below this whole line, and I can see a little bit of plastic here. Probably shift it that way still just a little bit more. It's hard to tell because it's, oh, that felt good. It's real even. Little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. That's perfect. Glad it didn't stick. So that'd be the worst if the whole thing decided to kind of just like freeze in a spot, and then you try and like shift it over a hair and then it goes like a ½ inch farther. That's true. I could always let chat help me out with it. Put a camera outside and then you guys can tell me. That's a really good idea. If we start doing a bunch of brake lights, I'll just let you guys go, yes, yes, no, no, left, 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 right, 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 right. How about TikTok? We'll let TikTok do it. That won't be obnoxious. So this is a big old squeegee, and you're shoving it down into a spot that is not super forgiving. So Squeegee out the top, get to that edge, and then I'll make one long push. Just kind of stay on the outside edge of that brake light. Just a small difference. It's nothing crazy, but what I wouldn't want to do is start in the middle of this brake light and then just sweep over, because you might pick up the edge of that cutout and just yoink your film. You don't want to yoink it. Let's get this guy. Because it's essentially the same thing as the Price is Right audience or Twitch Plays Pokemon. Ah, those were the days. You guys remember Twitch Plays Pokemon? That was amazing. That kind of stuff still goes on, just in different ways. I love that some companies have really figured out a way to like make a game that involves a live streaming audience. It's really clever. Like marble races and stuff. That little guy right there. You know, every time I get like a stuffy back window, that's where I get like annoyingly tired, just trying to like keep my head in a weird spot. Trying to shove a squeegee back there. How many times do you usually sweep out a back window? Just about as many as you saw right there. I like the bulldozer for the bottom because I really like as much to be squeegeed out as possible. And you can let a fair amount of water sit there and it'll just take a long time for it to dry. But the bulldozer, getting that in there and sweeping it out nice and clean, has been, that and the side swipe have been two of the best for making sure everything looks nice on that. So we got a little finger there we got to shrink out. We'll see this this brake light cut out too. Little guy right there that we got to squeegee out. So the way this brake light cutout worked, just a little bit below this defroster line, but we're pretty even right here and here, and I can see this bridge on the brake light on both sides. So when I step back, it's like the thing is like dead center where it needed to be from where they had the cutout. That's turned out really, really nice for being a cutout. People are gonna look at that and go, ew, but I look at that on this car, and I go, I got that centered. Cool. So I did the best I could on it. Yes. Ooh, that looks good. That looks real good. You guys see that? That looks very good. Why is there a hole in the tent? Inevitably, somebody in the chat then asked, oh, wait, how would they say it? Since when did you only start doing brake light cutouts? Do customers complain about the soapy streaks? I mean, they'll ask sometimes, but no, not really. It's a real easy explanation, too. It's like, I can take, because I've told somebody, like, they're like, hey, I just got it ceramic coated the other day or whatever. Or new car, I don't know, it's just whatever excuse. I think it usually has been the ceramic coating people. But There's a couple. They're just like, hey, is there soapy water going to be down the sides or something like that? And I say, yeah, and I can definitely just rinse that off, but I don't want to touch your paint because I don't want to risk putting any type of micro scratches in it. So the most I'll do is just take the hose and then spray off all the soapy water, and then they'll be just left with streaky panels anyways. But some people appreciate that much. It's a real easy explanation though. I think most people appreciate you washing the car, but it's just like tint. You never know when you're gonna get that one person that he has his own little special way of washing his car. Because even it's more apparent now, but I didn't understand this when I first started. They'd say like, go wipe those panels off real quick. It looks streaky. And then on like a black car, I'd do that with a microfiber that we had sitting around the shop. And then I'd see like little swirls and stuff created from it. And it's like, well, they told me to do this. And then later on, it's like, oh, these are all just micro scratches in the clear coat now that I caused even from a microfiber. I didn't realize that was a thing. You just learn these things over time. I know that guy, his name is Jason Otterness. Chicago Auto Pros, yep. Yep, that was the class that I taught. I went out and I helped teach a class out there. That was a lot of fun. Super cool guys in operation that they have out there. The dude is just so business smart. It was so fun talking to that guy because we're both in the whole YouTube social realm, but he's got such a unique perspective with just some business angles that were really, really smart. So like earlier on, I mean, I don't quite know, like, so an idea to help drum up some business was like a group buy, and I never heard of that before, but it was kind of like, yeah, car clubs and stuff, they'll all bring their cars in, and you give them kind of like a group discount, but you got like a ton of work. That's not a bad way to drum up business. A special thing that they did for all the Tesla owners was they did a special free Tesla car wash and breakfast. They provided breakfast and coffee. And then they had a bunch of Tesla owners come out and they give them free car washes and teach them how to wash their cars with all like the proper chemicals and stuff. And it's like, oh, that's such a fun, cool idea. They're smart. Let's see how well this sticks here. Oh, not bad. We gotta do these quarter windows. Which he also sells. Yep, for sure. But, I mean, their main business there is car detailing, too. So, I mean, they made sure to they keep their eye out and they stay active in a lot of, like, car club groups and stuff like that. They're smart. They're smart people over there. I think I just peeled a quarter window accidentally. I did. Which side? This side? Oh, dang. I don't know. Can we still use this? It's fresh. Let's see what we're dealing with here. So I remember these Camrys. They're a little bit easier than a lot of the same types of windows. So these seals, while they are like the gasket seals, they're a little bit looser. Still can be annoying. Still can take 1 or 2 tries maybe. That's why I'm just kind of saying screw it and let's just see where this one turns out. And if we have to do it, we got a spare. How often do you replace your tint tools? Probably not as often as I should. I go quite a while on the same tools, and I'll kind of overuse some stuff and then order a bunch all at the same time. That is not freeze. Canon. Froze. That's not freeze. That's Hollyland. This stream is sponsored by Hollyland. It's not. They just sneak that in there every time a battery dies. Now we know everybody who's behind. Linking. No video. I gotta get this quarter window done, dude. You decided to die at a bad time. GoPro. So if you had the media mod, you have to do this every time you hook up that little camera. God, that gets obnoxious. Did you disable the 5-second warning beep? Well, it's actually the HDMI transmitter. It doesn't have any type of battery beeps. It just dies. The GoPro, 5-second warning beep. Yeah, that's kind of what's funny about the GoPro one, is like they don't even give you like a 10-second warning. It's literally just like beep, 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 and then dead. Whoa. I would be kind of surprised if that worked. It's a good cutout. Because at some point I thought it was gonna hook and crease, but it didn't. I don't think it did. I didn't see one. We'll check it on the outside for sure. Dang! I'm saying that looks pretty good. Let's wipe it off. Cars that come in with dirt and bird poop, what do? Clean them. I mean, the bird poop is always kind of gross because it sticks. Soften it up a little bit. And then scrape it off the window.
Swallogang super chatted $4.99. How can I work for a shop to get experience? What's the best approach? Or is it best to continue learning on my own?
Or is it best to learn on my own? Swole Gang, thank you. It was just funny how the voice said it. Damn, that turned out nice. I'm very happy with that. That looks super clean. All these edges are great. Heck yeah. We did it. Okay, fine. We'll close this. We could have done that a while ago. All right, other side. So as far as the question goes, wasn't it good? It was good. See, people just throw that out there, like, oh, just get a job at a tint shop. I mean, if they're this time of the year, it's going to be, like, as it gets busy, a lot more tint shops are going to hire just kind of, like, willy-nilly. Like, they got extra work. Yeah, sure, we need all hands on deck. will help teach you. Most shops just want somebody that can already tint, but the thing that they're missing out on is when they have somebody that can already tint, that person usually is at that shop for a reason, because things didn't work out and they need some money, and then when they get back up to making a decent income, then problems will start. I've seen that happen too many times. So, I mean, it's worth it to keep looking around and try and find something that'll pay halfway decent while you're learning, but you are like, it costs them money to teach you. They have to slow down, and they have to waste film, and they have to be quality control for you. And then if they don't feel like you want to hang around in their company, well, that's even worse for them, because then they just train somebody that is now like a local competition to them. So it is easier to learn on your own and just try and build up your own business and just keep practicing that way. I mean, if you just want to be a tinter, like a good tinter, make some good money and work at a shop, then, you know, you just tell a shop that you're looking for a full-time position and you're ambitious. But showing ambition is really a big part of it too. Showing that you're eager to learn and that you want to be a tinter. Some shops will definitely appreciate that because it's hard to find good work. Hard to find good people. Any shop will tell you that. There's so many just absolute shit people. For as hard as it is to, you know, make it, there's plenty of tint shops that can have positions available, and it's just like they're sitting on their thumbs waiting for somebody to walk in and get hired, because they just, people suck. Should I go in person? Oh, definitely go in person. Don't be shy. Show ambition. They might say no. That's fine. Good saying. You only need one yes. You can get told no 100 times. Doesn't matter. Just keep going. You only need one yes. So, this is one of the best pieces of advice that my dad gave me when I was looking for a job initially. And he said, go talk to a store manager. Just skip the list. Don't get put in a pile of people, like, you know, this is just looking for like a basic job, right? But this goes for anything. He said, just go directly to a store manager and say you're looking for a job. There's so many people that just walk in, they leave their name and number in a stack with other people, and then the store manager then has to go through, make phone calls, and try everybody and try and figure out who's the best hire. But when you're the guy showing ambition and you just walk in there and you're like, hey, I'm really interested in some sort of a tinting position, really eager to work. I've been practicing for blah, 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 blah. I'm just looking for an opportunity. You're never going to get laughed out of the door. I lack experience, but very book smart with tinting. Yeah, just say you have a real passion for it. You're really obsessed with learning it, and you just want somebody to give you a shot. I mean, it's great to try and learn it on your own. I mean, it definitely takes longer, but, you know, if you can build up your own clientele, you'll be better off for it in the long run that way if you want to own your own business. Not everybody's looking for that. Some people are just looking to make a really good income, work for a tint shop, or just tint for another company. So I can't answer that for you. But yeah, going in and showing ambition, like, there was this one guy. God, it's just people that are really good at their job or just seem eager about their job. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It was like in the drive-thru the other day, and he was just like super bright and just like, here you go, sir. Thank you so much. Blah blah blah. And it's just like, dude, I want to hire that guy just because he's just doing a regular job, but he's so enthusiastic, it gets infectious. So people recognize that. They'll hire those people over everybody else. Seems most shops are hesitant to train because they're afraid you'll leave and steal your business. Yep, it happens a bunch. That goes both ways. It's like a shop wants, good experienced tinters, but then they don't want to train anybody. Well, most of the qualified, experienced tinters come with a bunch of baggage. And it'll work out for a time, but, it's no coincidence that shops can be in business for years and years, and they still can't find good help. It's like, well, sometimes you really have to just suck it up and try and train the right person. I mean, that whole part of the business is really hard. That's why there isn't a lot of scaled window tint shops. They're mostly independent mom and pop shops. You're starting to see a handful of companies kind of go under an umbrella. I think Sunstoppers and Tint World, both similar but different. So Tint World's more of like a franchise brand, looking for people to buy into their franchise. Sunstoppers is more, they're finding companies that just have been in the business for a while. And if they're willing to adopt a Sunstoppers brand, then they're take them under their wing, and then they have a lot of group support. And then they're trying to then grow each one of those individual shops. So it's just a different way of doing it. But those are like the two that come to mind. Everybody else is like, there's so many more that are just like completely independent, or just like 2 or 3 shops in a localized area. It's a tough thing. If it was easy to scale, there'd be a lot more of it. I've seen companies, like decent-sized companies, try and fail because they were just, they thought they could add it like any other service, when really it's got to be done a little bit differently. But I think it just comes down to growth opportunities for a lot of people. So from the business angle of it, like if I'm worried about my shop. I want to get my shop going. I want to add more jobs to it. Then I need more people to do those jobs. And then somebody gets stuck in a position where they're tinting, they're making good money, but then they feel capped. Well, I'm not going to have that person, I'm not randomly going to pay him to do the exact same thing, right? Like pay him more. Like you can have commissions and you can have like yearly bonuses and stuff like that, but alongside of that, any drastic pay increases really don't make a ton of sense, right? Unless there's some extra skill set that they can all of a sudden do that make the company more money and in turn make them more money too. It's tough. But I think being able to expand outside of yourself and your one shop and give them an opportunity to then run the next iteration might be a way to go. It's a spam call. So when they're itching to like try and grow past where they are, sometimes like I really think the next step would be like letting them help open up your new location and then be in charge of it, and then in turn get paid more and then be in charge of more things. But it's real hard to grow past that. Spammers need their cars tinted too. True. Yeah, that one's been calling me for months now. Uh-oh, my headphone died. But yeah, interesting discussion for sure. I'm always on the eye out for like what I feel would be a really cool extra service for a shop to add that kind of is outside of like a physical thing, like something extra that you could kind of sell alongside of a tint job. Where's my headphones here? This one's been charging. Let's see. Oh, I gotta leave this open. I don't know if my headphones are gonna continue to work. I had to connect the other ear, but we'll see how this goes. Oh, I still said something. I want to start my own business. Should I be transparent with a shop? I want to help and tell them. I mean, you're way less likely to get hired, in my opinion, because if you just tell them right off the bat that, yeah, I'm looking to get a tint position, but I'm also looking to siphon off training from you and then open up my own shop, that doesn't make you very hireable. So, then they are literally working on training their competition. So, you might want to keep that one to yourself and just yes sir, no sirs. But like, so you can see that's like their number one worry there is they're gonna put money into a very ambitious, good person with your end goal being, hey, I'm gonna get a year or two experience here, and then I'm gonna open up my own thing and be my own boss, which is great, but then what good does that do them? So it's tough, man. It's tough to figure out how to go past where you are. Ever thought about adding wraps? Yeah, definitely thought about it. Not really interested, though. Fixing my headphones here. Just put that in. Put that in. Maybe it'll let me just use the left ear. It usually does. Ceramic coat the windows when they leave. Yeah, I've thought about doing like something like ceramic coating and stuff, especially for the windshield. There haven't been, I mean, it's something that gets added with a lot of other stuff. Like if you're ceramic coating the car, you can ceramic coat the glass. I haven't really been stoked about glass coatings. I don't think they work very well or for very long. Like Max, this is literally after talking to Chicago Auto Pros too. They're like most things before they need a refresh seem to be about 6 months at like the most, 6 to like 9 months before they need some type of a refresh. So I've seen like glass parency and stuff like that. I've driven around with it. I don't know. Nothing's been really stellar for me. Is it better to start off with medium quality film or high-end film? I would start with definitely something lower end just to practice with, and then when you're looking to like install stuff on clients' cars, then add something a little bit better to what you're gonna do. But I mean, if it's within your budget, then it wouldn't hurt you to carry something better. There's guys that say practice with what you're going to install, and I can appreciate that, but it also gets very expensive very quickly because you end up scrapping so much film. You shouldn't be afraid to like ruin your own film. Maybe that's what's going on here. This one's basically done. Whoa. Is it really only 3 o'clock? How long have we been live? Didn't yesterday's card take till like 3 o'clock? Yeah, this is being funny. Maybe it'll magically work here. I've got 2 earbuds for a reason. It is working now. Okay, I fixed it. Yeah, so Tint Depot has a pretty good film. Let me bring them up. Products, automotive. Yeah, check some of these films out. I'd probably stay in this range right here for practicing, like the mid-range NR charcoal. 1 ply is going to be really thin, so you can still learn from it, but it's going to be thin. 1.5 mil film is going to be what most films are. Cheaper carbon films are generally going to be a little bit more rubbery, a little harder to shrink, take a little bit longer. And then this would be their best color stable dyed film. This is a really good film right here. But you know, 36-inch roll of this stuff. Let's just say 20, 36. It's gonna be $200, which still isn't like. I mean, that's right in line with color stable dyed pricing. Like that's basically what I pay for film for a 36-inch roll. So that's like normal for me, but you know, expect to destroy most of this film, so it's up to you. Usually save like $50 on a roll by going a little cheaper or something. Might as well get geodyed. It's gonna be pretty similar on that one. What's a good ceramic film from Tint Depot? This says premium. This says premium plus. I would actually ask them what most people get for like their better ceramic. I'm not as familiar enough with this stuff. Oh, 20, 40, 60 by 100, 40 by 100. Oh, okay. I guess that's fine. Premium shades. 4, 18, 33, 42. That just gets in oddball numbers there. Nano ceramic plus windshield tint. Okay, so that's going to be light. Ceramic, I'd ask them. It's a little confusing, honestly, even for a tinter to look at this. I don't know. I don't know where they are on a lineup. But yeah, I haven't tried all their films. But I've tried a handful of them. Woo. Is there such a thing as 1% film? Yeah. Yeah, there's some people that call it 0% too. So they make super dark films. Tint Depot is actually sending me out a 2% film, I think. A 1 or a 2% film that they said exclusivity on. So they were wondering if I would use it. And yeah, we can do something with it. It'll be fun. So there's definitely darker than 5%. Just a lot of the, I don't know, just a lot of the main film brands don't have it as an option, or if it is, it's kind of like an oddball thing in their lineup, largely because of popularity. So it's like, it's a loop that kind of feeds itself. Like, most people aren't looking to do film that's like 1%. So they don't make it. So that's where you'll see like a lot of these oddities on Amazon, eBay, or some scrappy smaller companies that you haven't really heard much of, because it's just another sales angle for them. The vast majority of, I'd say reasonably to premium price tint jobs are gonna be anywhere from 5% and on up. I occasionally get somebody that wants to go darker than that, but it was usually tinting in some more scary areas. So it just depends. So tractor guy, I hope you've been well. Hope you've been well. Yeah, things have been going pretty well. We just wrapped up this ceramic one. Schedule's been a little lighter, but things have been still going pretty well. Where's the key? We'll close this up and take a look at it. Why didn't you remove the brake light? Because we don't tint brake lights anymore. Special request. So we did 35 on the front, 5% on the back, and this special brake light cutout. That was a request. He didn't want the brake light because he got a ticket for one before. So I said we normally cut or tint those, but if you don't want it, we'll make it happen. And he said, yes, please make it happen. I was like, all right. I was waiting for the inevitable comment where somebody's like, oh, so you don't tint third brake lights anymore? We've done 2 more tractors and had no issues yet. Nice. Tractors would still scare the hell out of me. Let me make a coffee here. Wow. I need to put a trash can up here. You know, somebody asked for regular sugar the other day. I have the flavored creamers, and I'm like, come on. Well, I wasn't mad or anything. I was just like, It's just like, it's so fancy with flavored creamers instead of just some basic dry powder creamer and sugar. But he wanted regular sugar, and I'm like, oh damn, I don't have regular sugar. Sorry, bro. Alright, let's let that percolate. Just ordered some Apex samples, but I asked them to do 50 and 35 instead of 20 and 5s that they offer. Do you think they'll do it? I mean, you can ask them. I would definitely think that they would, especially if you like call them and ask them. I'm sure they'll do something for you. So sometimes there's logistical reasons why companies will do what they do, just like try and, you know, they can accommodate for somebody, but if everybody asks for a particular thing, it's like, we really need as much of that on hand right now because of logistics, but I don't know. Is Apex Korean? I'm not sure, actually. I actually don't have much behind the scenes info on that. But it's built off of their, it's going to be similar to their C2 stuff. So if you like their C2, you probably like their Apex too. What's your favorite food dish? Breakfast foods. Right now, oh, God, hang on. Activate. There we go. We're back. You know what's really good? Sisig. That's really good. It's a Filipino dish. It's like fried pork cubes with there's like some onion and there's some other stuff in there too. It's really good. And you put it on rice with like an egg on the side. Oh, sisig's really good. Beef tapa is really good. Filipino breakfast is like one of my favorite things. I like regular breakfast too. So like eggs, hash brown, and toast. Cannon. Those are all really good too. But Filipino breakfast is very good. 12 Elantra or 13 Rogue. Which one is easier? Oh, it's hot. That got me. I had way more than I thought. Manny Pac. What is that one? Oh, the fighter? Oh, I don't follow. I've definitely heard about him. He's definitely a Filipino favorite for sure, but I don't follow the sport. I had to look it up really quick, but I remember now. Elantra or Rogue? It's going to be kind of a toss-up on those. Both of them are pretty straightforward. The Elantra's got a standard back window. I'd probably rather have the Elantra over the Rogue, but, you know, short back window on the Rogue. It's just, they're a little bit older. Which car is easiest to tint? There's quite a few. The latest body style for the Taurus, Malibus, stuff like that. Those are real straightforward. Malibu is like one of my favorite cars. I used to get a bunch of those. Like last year, I got a ton of them. Malibus are one of my favorite ones. Whenever I get somebody like that on my schedule, it's just a good day. Because it's like, oh, I got a car that's just going to be real straightforward. People are probably sick of seeing them, but I'm not sick of tinting them. You know, at the end of the day, if you pay me for ceramic on this one or a Malibu, they're going to be the same price, so I'll take the Malibu. But this one's pretty straightforward too, so. The back window gives people a little bit of a headache sometimes. The most expensive. It hasn't been a lot. Let me find. It's a pretty small list, honestly. I've never had a big portfolio of super expensive cars. Mid-range luxury cars is like my bread and butter. It's like just mid-range new anything. I mean, you occasionally get like, you know, an overly expensive Lincoln that rolls in, stuff like that are just like, oh wow, that's a really expensive version of a more regular car or SUV. But like there was one day that I remember where I had a McLaren right next to I did a McLaren and an Aston. Those were both super easy to tint, except the McLaren had those funky vertical doors that made it a little bit tricky. Then I found out later the seals pop out super easy, but real small, easy to tint back windows, and then just the front doors. So that was a pretty cool day. It was like a bright orange McLaren. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't have many like that at all. And then I did a Audi, I had an R8 to do. I don't like tinting R8s. That thing had the driver's door peel. Like we had 3 people tint that car, I think. And the driver's door kept peeling. Like it was just a very curved window, and then the seal is really far down, and it presses hard against the glass too. So it was just like trying to get that thing tucked and ready to go. It just wasn't having it. Remember that Ferrari charger you did? Yeah, I do. What's your business Insta? It's Detroit Tint Studio, but I don't really do anything with it. We're all about TikTok right now. Oh my God, we're 1 follower away from 300 followers. I think we just started last week. That bunny video is just, you'll find that a lot. There'll be a couple of staple videos that will carry you if you do them right. They get way more attention than everything else that you do. Yeah, I didn't care about TikTok, and now that's all I do. Detroit Tint Studio on TikTok. I'll follow your TikTok. Do it, and then we'll be, see, here, let me. Yesterday's video did better than I thought. So, I can go over, I like to talk about this stuff probably too much. So this was a really well-made, simple video. I definitely didn't want to show a cracked ceramic window, but I kind of just glossed over it. It just means I have to explain it a million times. But there was enough comments kind of backing up what happened on this one, but I really love how this one turned out. It was pretty great. This one was the next one that I uploaded, and so we filmed this one while I was streaming, and it was really just to show all the bubbles getting squeegeed out and the glass getting cleaned. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's kind of, I wanted something to kind of carry through the video. So then I had this idea to just put a brain teaser in there. My wife was asking me these like silly brain teasers over the last few days. And so I put a brain teaser in here, and what's really interesting is that it actually worked. So on this one with 350,000 views right now, TikTok views, it's got 216 comments. And this one with 22,000 views, so far less, has 200 comments. So creating that kind of engagement definitely worked to some extent, but it stopped at 22 and it hasn't gone past that, where this was the bunny video is much better made. And it's showing in the views that it was just really interesting for a lot of people. And then we did this Dyson hairdryer video. And I think this probably strikes a lot more with window tinters, but still, general audience still found it kind of funny. But this didn't do quite as well as what I thought it might do, but it got 400 likes, 6 comments, so pretty low engagement on it. Good for likes, but 12,000 views. I really like the video, though. And then I did this one. Yeah, good, okay. This one just, I had another video idea with this roll of film. And then I ended up just like, I'm going to go bowling with it. I wonder if I can do it. Because I have all those like rolls sitting back there. So I just set up enough pins and then bam. Just completely ridiculous. So this one actually still did okay. It did 11, almost 12. And then this is the one that we did yesterday. So we made this while we were streaming. So this is a genuine frustration that a lot of tinters will have. And I decided to film the back window along with it. I didn't even think this turned out very well. But I point out a couple of glue spots that popped up in the window and then just peeling it off and then trying to give a short message about you know, some of the frustrations that we can deal with, because not everybody sees this, right? People show, this is what I talk about a lot, people show pretty tint jobs, but some of that behind the scenes stuff is like, no, when you want to put out some good work and you deal with this, customers don't necessarily realize that. So you put this out there, you might have some more people that are just like, oh, he cares about what he does. I really appreciate that. So this video ended up so far doing 13. So better than these two right here. So we're at 300. Does somebody follow? 302. We did it. So we are almost a third of the way there. So at 1,000 follows, we can live stream on TikTok. So I want to bring these, like that's the main goal, is I want to bring these live streams over to TikTok as well, but I need 1,000 followers to do it. So in the meantime, we're putting some ridiculous stuff up. It's been fun to make, though. It's good for a 24-hour video. I've been really impressed overall.
RGC super chatted $4.99. Put the chocolate bunny on the
Thank
inside
you.
on the car door. Good job.
Put the chocolate bunny on the inside of a car door and just have it melt over the interior? Or is that with the ceramic? Because you have to have both, right? It's an interesting idea. I like the thought there. Maybe you could open it, leave the bulb there, and then roll down the window or something. I don't know. There might be a funny way to do that. Thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate that idea. But yeah, like, so what's cool, not that one, this one. So, I've mentioned this before, but there was a marketing guy, dude channel, he's really, really smart on all this types, like on marketing and whatnot. TikTok has definitely been around for a little while now, and it's proven at this point to be like, no, this is like a serious platform with a lot of people on it, and it's very quick paced, but the right thing framed in the right way can do super well. And what I really appreciate this platform right now is anybody can join right now and has a shot of doing far beyond their followers. This follower number, it doesn't matter. You can have 100,000, 1 million followers, and you can put videos out that still completely bomb and don't do any views. Followers do not matter. And that goes hand in hand with subscribers on YouTube. Largely, they don't matter. They do and they don't. So a good video is still going to get shown to a lot of people. On YouTube, having more subscribers helps get a video off the ground earlier on for sure. But usually a good, well-marketed video will still do really well. So on TikTok, you can just make any catchy thing, and then it can do well. Do you monetize? If not, what's the point? Well, so for a small business, it's potential to get more customers. So even some of the silly stuff, this is kind of like growing the TikTok a little bit, but also getting somebody to laugh and then potentially checking out some of the other ones that you do. And that's where stuff like the chocolate bunny showing ceramic tint, this is like one of the most ridiculous, clear-cut, 16-second examples of the difference between ceramic and dyed film that you're ever going to see. Some of this has to do with detail stuff. Don't you think that maybe seeing something like this and showing that they care, they would go to my shop versus somebody else? That's the way I look at some of this. So it's a really good way right now with how discoverable it is to promote your own business. If you don't have any type of business, then a big following, you're really not going to do much from it. You'll make maybe some ad revenue dollars, but it'll be pennies compared to having a business attached to it. So, I mean, Facebook, much earlier on, was great for business. And it still can be, but it's a lot more pay-for-click ads and people tune a lot of stuff out. So it's really hard to stand out. TikTok, there's a lot of tint videos and a lot of tinters putting some stuff out, and it's all like a lot of it has been really, really good. But what's cool about it too is everything can be kind of localized, where TikTok will show people things that is kind of in their area alongside of a broader market, but they do a lot of local stuff too, and they know how to target people. So it's a it's a pretty sophisticated platform now, that's for sure. I think it's really, really smart. If you have any type of a tint business, making short videos, I don't think you've ever had a better chance than right now, or earlier on, you know, when it was a little bit fresher, to post some of this type of work and hit, you know, 13,000 people that all might be potential clients. Like, it's that easy. I have 302 followers right now. 304, thank you. 304 followers right now, with 100,000 YouTube subscribers, right? Like, I'm just a very small fish on TikTok. So I don't have any type of following here. It's not like thousands of people followed over from YouTube and are now joining the TikTok thing. No, this, in my opinion, is all really organic TikTok stuff. So anybody's got a shot here. I didn't call up TikTok and be like, yo, dog, can you pump this video? There's no way for me to do that. You just got to put out good stuff, good original stuff. What is your peel board made of? It's made of glass. So it's a storm window. So there was a glass company that was here, and they left a bunch of used storm windows in the back. So I ripped the frames off. I have like 3 or 4 more of them back there. So I just tinted the back of it. I got some film off of, got some iridescent film off of Amazon because I was playing around with that. Tinted it along with some frost. Was just trying to make it look weird. So, but yeah, I actually haven't even looked into. I haven't even looked into monetizing TikTok, actually. I don't know where you have to be. My goal is just 1,000, and then you get to live stream. Their live streaming is ridiculous right now. Like, it is so strong right now. So, stronger than Twitch, which is crazy. Because that's what I always hoped from Twitch, was like Twitch is the live streaming platform, but it's very gaming focused, and people there are looking for just chatting and gaming stuff. So I've been streaming on Twitch side by side for over a year, and nothing's ever come of it. So TikTok is very, like, people are just setting up their phones while they're working. Like, it has a really good tie-in with, if you have any type of a business and you can live stream it, TikTok is a really powerful platform right now. So we're gunning for 1,000, and then I'll mess around with streaming on there alongside of here. I tried TikTok. I didn't like it. I like Instagram better. What I didn't... I can appreciate that. Instagram, I mean, you can still do really well on all of them. The issue that I always had with, like, Facebook and Instagram is they were very discoverable, and then they got lots of businesses to post on there, and then their business is then charging businesses to advertise. So you're only, like, this discoverable, and then you're paying for lots of exposure on those types of platforms. So you really, like, now I'm paying to promote my business there, which is, like, a pretty normal thing to do, where on TikTok right now, you can still pay to promote your business, but you have so much more of an organic chance. And I think video always does better than pictures. So I think TikTok has the potential to be a lot stronger. But I understand, like, it's definitely not for everybody. I ignored it for a long time. I see some stuff on there that'll kind of make me laugh and whatnot, but I'm mostly on it from, like, a business perspective right now. It's a lot of fun for me to make these videos too. So that that creative itch where you're just kind of like, tint a window with a Dyson hairdryer. It's not a full YouTube video. It's like, what, today we're going to try and shrink a back window with this hairdryer. And like, then you kind of try and draw it out, and it's just like, it's like a punchline joke. And that's what's fun about TikTok for me anyways right now, is just those short ones. So, I'm having fun with it. It's cool. Facebook is old like MySpace. Daughter said it, I was the dinosaur. Yeah, that's how a lot of people look at it. I heard Facebook is actually still pretty young demographic, actually. It gets touted as like, you know, like having a Yahoo email address, right? It's like an ancient thing. So with was the main demographic on Facebook was still like early 20s to like mid 30s is still like the primary demographic on Facebook. It's actually not old. That does seem to work. Maybe I'll start dancing on TikTok. I picked up some Glass Aid recently. I love it, except one thing, it doesn't stick well. It doesn't like water at all, yeah. So, same thing with smeary glass and stuff like that. So that's where I'll spray it with like soapy water or glass cleaner. I'll scrub it, and then I'll use one of those wider squeegees and make sure the whole thing is dry, and then I'll apply it to it. But yeah, you're right, it doesn't like... I wish it was a little bit more forgiving and being a little bit more tacky with that. But yeah, it can be annoying because it'll like pull inwards too, right? It's just a quirk of it. How many? Do we have more? We have more followers now? 305. Oh yeah, we're making some big ground now. That's ridiculous though. I walked out to the van with 2 giant bunnies, chocolate bunnies, and I'm like, no, I'm not crazy, I swear. I really didn't know what that video would do. And then it got like, I don't know, it got like 10 to like 15 pretty early on, and then like TikTok views go like this, and then they stop. And then they just kind of like nothing happens, and then you get a ton, and then they stop again. And I see that over and over and over. So you get a lot of views super fast, then all of a sudden they just completely stop. It's really different. So this video is still trucking along though, 357,000, that's crazy. But those are like very short views too. I gotta make another one. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna take off here, I think at this point. What's the GTR guy story? Oh, no, there was just a guy that was trolling, pretending to have a GTR. But he didn't. He was just clowning. All right, so big shout-outs to some awesome super chats. RGC, Swole Gang, LKB, Efren, looking forward to having you at the class 2. Daniel, B711, Daniel, thank you guys so much for all the support today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for following on TikTok, where we never cared about it until like a week ago. Wow, that was super dumb. Nothing like having my software open and using it, and then all of a sudden it wants me to log back in. There you go. Follow me on TikTok. I'm a TikToker now. I'm no longer a YouTuber. It'll be interesting to see. Because really, like, it feels like a slow grind. And then, like, I just started this. Like, when did I post this silly video? 2/28. A little more than a week ago. Like, 10 days ago. I posted the first video, and then I made the next one, and I've made a handful since then. And now we're up to like 305. So it goes pretty quick. That's cool. I thought it was going to be like a couple months, at least. Got to grind it out for like 6 months to get like 1,000, and then it starts to snowball after that, and you get more. But no, it's been good. It's been going good. We'll be there before we know it, probably in a couple weeks. Hell yeah. Alrighty, my dudes. I will see you later. Next live. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Probably Thursday or Friday. I know I got a couple things lined up, but I gotta look at what that is. But it'll probably be a couple days. In the meantime, watch TikTok. Alrighty, I'll see you later.